It's mid-March and here's your update for this month. I got rid of most of the bugs, and the peppers, they seem to be doing better. It's going to take a while though for them to actually liven up. Remember the one I showed you and had hardly any roots? This one really perked up. So that's my two Tiny Tims, and I'm just getting red ripened tomatoes on them now, as you've seen back there. Here's the ring of fire pepper. I had to put a stake in beside it to hold it up, but it's flowering. Let's go past this board here. And is that flower right there? You see all the aphids on it. They will pollinate that flower. There's not many aphids here, but the ones that are here, they're on a couple of flowers on this plant. I think I'll take this one out because he's small and just spray them off. My hot pepper plant in there, the pepper of unknown variety, that's starting to flower as well. As well as this one. So that's doing nicely. I bought some more mammoth basil seeds. I put a ring in around here. This morning I cut off a piece up here, so I'm harvesting from both of these. The basils are growing really nice this time. And I harvested some kale this morning. And my other two bonsai kale back there are doing nicely. The day after I done the cleanup for the bugs, I got the yellow curds. And you can see the size of this one here. But I've got to put in here, and as you can see, it's catching fungus gnats. I didn't expect to get rid of all of them. And these curds now are catching the ones that are flying around. The curds come in a pack like this. And here's one curd. But to put them rather inconspicuously among your plants, you can cut them to whatever size you want, so you don't have this big yellow curd sticking up as a eyesore. And you see the two holes up top. Now that's for if you just wanted to hang one of your curds. And it's got twist ties to put through the holes. And they do come with this, so you can put the curd down in here. Now the problem with that, of course, is that you covered up this area on one side of your curd, so you're losing a lot of your sticky space. However, it is sticky, so you can just have a piece of wood or a piece of anything really and stick it down into the soil and stick the curd onto it. The curd just needs to be held up. It doesn't have to stick on strongly. And if we go around this side, you see this curd goes right down touching the soil surface, which helps because the fungus gnats, they fly very low, and if you have the curd above the soil surface, well, they can just fly right on underneath it. Which wouldn't be so with this curd. This stake, this goes down to soil level, and for the most part your curd will be held up off the soil. And also you have, of course, your ready-made stake this long. If you're putting it in a shorter pot, you would either have to cut this off or have the stake sticking well above the soil. The onions are all sprouting, and I can show you, see what happens when the soil doesn't quite touch the bottom. This one is not touching the wicking mat, so it's drying out. Here's another one. And a couple, they are soaking up soil, but not very well, some of these. And as for these, as I said, I couldn't just water them from the bottom because that tray doesn't have any holes, but I wait until the top of the soil starts to dry out, and then I just give them a sprinkle like that. And they're coming along. They were the last to put in, and but they're sprouting and coming up. Here's my greens test. Now these are sprouting seeds. They've been there now for 11 days. Probably today cut them all off as close to the soil level as I can, and I'm going to put some fresh seed in there of maybe lettuce and things, something that will give me a bigger leaf smaller down, and try again. But I did get a salad out of it anyway. The tomatoes are all sprouting. Did I mention that I put this shelf down from the sunroom again? However, I had to do that because I had to move this up away from where the mink could get it. Here's the rest of the onion seeds, and they're sprouting well. I was reading up on ginger, and their preferred temperature 22 to 25 degrees Celsius with high humidity, and I'm like, not happening. I do have though on my radar a type of ginger that's perennial and will grow down to zone 3. I'm thinking about it. We'll decide. I'll decide as I do some more research. This is a bigger tiny Tim, and it is just starting to put on tomatoes now. I don't know why, but this one, I mean, those tomatoes have been there a long time, but they're not ripening up yet. Whereas I just showed you the ones over in the other spot, I've got some that are getting close to ripe. These cucumbers are growing. And we're just letting them sit there and see how much they grow. I almost forgot to show you this. You see I have the names written on top here. These are the seeds that I saved from the tomatoes that I grew last year. Stupice Lata, Centennial Rocket, Beaver Lodge Slicer, 42 Days, and Tiny Tim. I have 100% germination now on all except Lata. So there we have Stupice. That strip in the middle where they're not all growing yet is Lata, Centennial Rocket, Beaver Lodge Slicer, 42 Days, and Tiny Tim. Right now they are just germinating slower. I can see now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Lata that have sprouted, and more might sprout yet. So right now I have 50% germination. This is from a vegetable squash that I actually cut open just the other day, and they all floated when I tested them. So I got them in there and waiting to see if they would germinate.